Craft and Colin, back again to let you know tonight. Oh, it's Meng On Meng, Meng On Meng, Meng On Meng. It's our thing. Oh yeah, we're making Lego, we're making action figures, we're doing it all. Meng On Meng, Meng On Meng. Oh yeah, it's my thing. Meng On Meng, Meng On Meng. Woo! Tonight, Known World United, 7 o'clock. Jump on the chat and baby, let's talk. Woo-oo! You feel it? That's right. Meng On Meng. Do our thing. Oh yeah. Bye-bye.
Oh.
I love that intro, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's pretty good.
I thought your little video today was fucking delightful.
I enjoyed that one. I laughed for a while after doing that.
Yeah, it was great. How, Colin? I know I just asked you, but I'm gonna ask you again. How are you?
I'm being assaulted by hay fever, but otherwise doing all right. How about yourself? I didn't ask that at all. How, like really ask, like, how you doing?
I am tolerable. I sat in one of the most annoying meetings that I have to sit in. Generally. Today, I don't know why I'm in them. The last 15 minutes, they just talked about Quick Trip, which made me really mad because that meeting runs till after 4 and I'm done at 4. So I just eventually messaged my superior and said, I'm leaving. So
yeah,
this is dumb. I didn't say this is dumb, but I also had an interaction that, looking back on it in that meeting, Cassandra's like, you probably don't want to do that again.
Oh.
That I'm like, but yeah, I mean, but it was, but that's exactly the right thing to say. I just probably didn't say it right.
Yeah.
So someone tried to ask me to do their work for them, and I just said,
that's not good.
I just said no. In that very meeting with all the high-ups, I said, hey, will you do this for me? No, I will not. And I could audibly hear the head of my entire department for the state gasp. And I was like, why would I do that? Because, like, why do you want me to go make a connection with someone who will never speak to me again? That makes no sense. That should be that's an HR thing. If you're going to maintain those contacts, that's a you guys thing. That's not a me thing.
Yeah.
Why, if I'm at the state and you're contacting me about, like, you're contacting Deed. I was like, I've worked with Deed before in other capacities. And if I would have done that then, they would have been very irritated with me. Because why would they need me as their contact who they're never going to speak to again? Like, that should be you. And no, I will not do that for you because that makes you look bad. So, also, not my job. I got plenty of other dumb shit I have to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was very, like, I would say feisty about it, but I was definitely like, what are you even talking about?
Totally.
So I wouldn't say it was a shitbag about it, but I definitely wasn't kind about it. But I also don't even know why I'm in those meetings. So I should also get across that, boy, I really don't know what I'm doing here in this meeting, and I obviously don't give a shit about it.
Yeah.
And I spent all this time on Monday because my boss was like, hey, I need you to get all this information for me and so I can present it on Tuesday. And this was on Monday morning. And I was like, all right, fine, I can do that. Like, I'll knock that out really quick. I mean, it'll take me a little bit of time, but I mean, I'll put that together if you really want it for Monday.
Yeah.
Or for Tuesday. Yeah, it'd be great. I mean, that would be amazing. I said, sure. 2 hours later, all this data in a spreadsheet later, here you are. He didn't even present it today.
Oh. That's fun.
Yeah. He talked about, that we were doing that he and I were putting that together, and just, I don't think he even read the email I sent him with it in there.
Hey, You're valued.
Yep. I've said this before about this particular job.
Yeah.
Once the person who recruited me, who like stole me away from my last job, left, I probably should have started thinking really hard about things, because they had worked with me before for a number of years, and they brought me in for a reason to do certain stuff. And the person that was there in that position with them left before they did. And I should have realized that, like, the person who got promoted,
Mhm.
I don't think could give a single solitary shit about what I do,
Oh.
which is good and bad. I mean, I can't complain. I spend a lot of time playing video games, but it's also kind of just exhausting.
Yeah.
I sometimes have to ask them, like, do you really know what I do? Like, what my job is supposed to be?
Mhm.
And I know they don't. But yeah, it is what it is. And it's just another day in paradise, baby.
Oh, think twice.
Yes. Is that Genesis or Mike and the Mechanics? I can't recall.
I think Genesis, right?
It very well might be. I can never remember. Because like
Another day for you.
Mike and the Mechanics sound like they just are like a variation on the theme that is Phil Collins' Genesis. So I mean, it's not a huge stretch to ask, but okay. So yeah, that was my bullshit. But I don't have fucking hay fever. That sounds way worse. That's awful, man.
Yeah, it's not fun. I wish I didn't have it at all. But I don't know, I get shots and shit like that. But forget it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. I don't know what that was.
So Matthew found two of these actually, and hooked me up. And these are
Whoa! Oh, no way!
Yeah, it's Megator, and he's got the spot on his body for Krang, which I've got a Krang in this bag.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not like a major Ninja Turtles guy. I like Ninja Turtles, but I'm not like, oh, Ninja Turtles are my jam.
I love
also
the toy line.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Dude is he's in this universe, he's Slaker. He's Slash mixed with Faker.
Nice.
And then I don't know if you've seen this or not, but God, beefy boy.
Yeah, I love the translucence. That's so
and
cool.
so I'm building a big Ram Man, a chunky Ram Man with the parts from the mutated Ram Man.
Yeah.
I put Andre arms on him, and then I'm going to use like this Masterverse Ram Man head, like the dark head, and some of the Masterverse armor on him. We'll see what it looks like.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like the goggles on that head are awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what that version of Rayman is supposed to be like. If that was just like based on some Mark Taylor concept art or what, but it looks cool as fuck. So
yeah.
And I should not be cursing so much, but I'm just like got a potty mouth today. Sorry about that, folks.
Hey.
Hey,
what you gonna do?
What you gonna do about it, huh?
What you gonna do? Sometimes you just gotta sway.
So I was thinking about next Thursday.
Yeah. Our tribute to Harvey.
Yeah.
Or Roger. Harvey Corbin. Excuse me.
I was like, he's going somewhere with this.
No, my brain is just
I trust what you say, so I'm like, sure.
We're doing a whole tribute to Harvey Corbin's character from the Star Wars Holiday Special. Buckle up, everybody.
It's gonna be nice. So I was thinking, like, should we find a Tubi flick to put on, like, just talk over it?
Yeah, there's got to be Corman Tubi.
Yeah, sure. I'm thinking there has to be a lot of Corman on Tubi.
What? That sounds like that's really good actually. I like that.
Maybe like one of the post cycle if we can find that.
for sure. Definitely not.
Or my other suggestion would be The Undead.
I don't know if I've seen that.
It was on Mystery Science Theater. It's one of my favorites of all time.
Ooh, okay. I might have to check.
Satan from Community Theater. It's so good. It's such a tasty morsel. No one says tasty morsel enough. It's a lost art. I'm bringing
Morslin?
Just morseling everywhere. Hey, y'all been morseling out there? Hell yeah. Got some of that morseling for me? It's Morbin time.
It's morsel time.
It's morsel time. By the way, you need to know this for lore's sake.
Oh,
and going forward, the word Bombus is now a part of our lexicon. It will never change.
Bombus?
Yeah. So I don't know if they were trying to say bonus awesome or something last night on the stream, but they just typed in Bombus and everyone went buck wild about Bombus being a word. So now Bombus is an official part of our channel's lexicon.
All right, I dig it.
I don't even. I think it was Super Spike, and who unfortunately is not here to own that. But it was beautiful.
Beauty.
I laughed long and hearty about Bombus, and so did everyone else. Even when we turned the stream off early, because I was struggling hard last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Haven't been sleeping well, all that good stuff.
Still dealing with the vertigo.
Yeah, the vertigo. And then yesterday I took a nap after work.
Yeah.
And Cassandra came in and I had been like scream yelling.
Oh.
Don't know why. She was like, well, I don't think you had a seizure. And I was like, yeah, I don't feel like I had a seizure. I just like maybe, and she was like, well, maybe I just had a nightmare because I am also prone to those.
Ooh.
And I didn't know, but it really shook me up. So then I was real off the rest of the night. More off than normal, which is bullshit. It's this fucking bullshit.
Oh, God, these tigers. Get out there. Get out there, you little tire.
Give it.
We gotta just grease them up. Oh, there we go.
But yeah, so that's me, baby.
That's me.
I'm Pee Wee. Ugh.
Where's the bike?
How's school going, man?
Good. I just completed a whole thing, and I'm jumping on like a whole unit, and now jumping onto another part, which is all about like it's kind of boring, but it's really like the basics of like what I'm supposed to do, which is like rundown of like potential client like assessment and stuff like that, and like what we should be looking for, and like know where your like boundaries are with like what you can do and stuff like that.
That's
like,
great, man.
It is, to be honest, very interesting, but it's also like it's definitely coming off of like learning like just all the like dense stuff I just went through with like nutrition and supplements, and then like going through like the nervous system and cardiovascular system, all that junk. Like,
and now you're working on soft skill stuff.
Yeah. Now it's like, remember to ask your potential client these things to figure out if they have any risk factors and morbidities. Just like
yeah, but I mean, you also got to think. Like,
no, it's good. It's very good to get that in.
Yeah, people have fucked that up so often that it needs to be trained on.
Yeah, no, there and just like now, like getting like I watch like a lot of like content now just to see how other people are doing it, and there is so much just bad faith junk bullshit out there that people are really hooking other people in on. Like some of these more popular like, I don't know, YouTubers and TikTok, just these social media like fitness gurus are just such fucking liars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
it's,
mean, I don't doubt it. I'm sure that a lot of ways they don't just never get called on it.
yeah, like, yeah. So it's nice to find people who are very like it's very refreshing to find people who are honest and open about like things, and like even more so when they're like, oh yeah, like part of the way I've achieved this look is I do use steroids, and you know these are the risks. Don't do it, like, you know, or I don't know. I appreciate that. But
I mean,
there's so many people who are like,
king it up.
yeah, like there's so many guys out there who are like, oh yeah, this is totally natural, and then it's like they, you know, their skin looks like it's like football leather. They're like just vascular to the gills. It's just like, no way.
I had a friend in high school, and he was my roommate our freshman year together. And he from our junior to our senior year, he came back and looked like a complete different human being.
Yeah.
And I'd been friends with him like since he moved there. So I'd known him like our entire lives. And, you know, so when he was like, I didn't do that, I was like, okay, man, if you say you didn't do it, you didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when we were roommates in college, my freshman year, I caught him doing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you said, and he was like, you don't understand. And it was just like, okay. All right, bud. It was just like my freshman year, because they don't really test in that and the depots. There was so many fucking people I knew who were just juiced up beyond everything. I was shocked. And at one point, I was told by a strength and conditioning coach for the school.
Oh, to do it?
Yeah.
Jesus, that's insane.
And that, you know, they know when the testing's coming and they know how to get around
No.
it. And, you know, it's not a big deal. And the reality is, especially since I was coming off of a huge surgery where, you know, they're like, you may never play again. You may lose your arm. They're like, you know, you should really think about this as an option, especially if, you know, you want to actually, you know, play.
That's messed up.
And I was like, yeah, but like I'm kind of good. Like,
yeah,
like,
man, all right.
I mean, I'm afraid like what will happen if I do that, and I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. But fucking my roommate, my friend, like I said, he's my friend, and he's using horse shampoo because his hair was falling out. I mean, just like shit like that. And I was like, man, is this? I mean, granted, like, I mean, we were national champions that year, but it was like, is this fucking worth it? Like, is this really what you want? So when I hear people talk about it, especially when they talk about casually, I'm dumbstruck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Like that can fuck you up so bad.
Yeah, especially like seeing there's this whole swath now of these younger dudes, these gym bros who are all like doing this stuff. Like people like there's this one guy, Sam Sulek. He's got to be like 22. He used to be a collegiate gymnast and then got a really bad injury and then switched to powerlifting. But he's juiced to the gills, and it's just like, and he admits it. Good for him and everything. But it's just like, you know, good that you're admitting it on that front. But it's just like, oh my god, dude, like you're so young, and the just damage you're gonna be doing to yourself right now. It's just
your body's fucked. I mean,
yeah, like irreversible. Like it's just, I don't know, it's crazy. And then you know, not to shit talk, but like, you know, I look at like Jordan Grace now, and it's just like, oh, whoa, like you're hitting it hard. Like her voice has gone through the full change, so she sounds like China now and everything. It's just like
the sad part about that is like, I will say I thought she looked better. To me, it was the Mini Driver effect.
I liked her
better when she
had more honor.
When she was thick. Yeah, I thought she looked better.
Yeah.
Granted, that's not my call to make, but
totally.
I was just like,
But no, like
it was very. To me, it's sad.
It's the Janine Garofalo, Minnie Driver. It's the effect of all these actresses who look just fine. They've got a little extra on them, but you know what? You're a lady. You should have a little extra on you. It's perfectly normal. Everyone can have a little extra on them. There's nothing wrong with that.
I got a whole other person on me. Riding my ass all the time. This whole extra person.
I had about 2 small children, or at least one very overweight dwarf.
Yeah. That's why I need extra food. I gotta feed them kids.
I gotta feed my kids. You don't understand.
I feed them chillins.
They inside of me. My I'm sorry, I'm eating for 2. I have a conjoined twin who's in the inside.
I concur though, and I really hope that no one hears this and is like, that's really sexist. That's not my intent. My intent is to be like, I found her to be a
babe.
Not just a babe, but I thought she was I thought it helped her wrestling as well.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, she doesn't know. I mean, she's like big Mama Thick.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, nobody looks like that. And no one does what she does. And I found that to be super cool.
Yeah.
And then now she just looks like generic wrestler number 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she changed her moveset up and
yeah, I don't know. And her husband's also jacked to the gills now too. It's just like
he's always been jacked though.
Yeah, he has. He's taken it another level though. He's just like
he's always been jacked because he's like 4 foot tall.
He is. He's a little king. He's a short king.
He is such a tiny man. I mean, yeah, I'm happy for him. I will say that I don't generally watch TNA, but I watched his vignettes. His new like little I'm three people who wear 3 masks thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting. Well done.
I don't know if you've seen this, but the chat is blowing up with Bomuses.
Bomus! Bomus for life. So yeah, I mean I'm with you, man. I think that Jordan Grace just
like honestly, do whatever she wants.
Yeah,
it's
her bod. It's your sweet bod.
But it's just like,
and it'll always be a sweet bod.
She's hit a point where it's like, oh, the things that you're doing are now going to be like irreversible. So it's like, I just hope for her sake, like she's made peace with that, because I know that's hard for some people to deal with after the fact. I know China really struggled with a lot of that, like all that mandible growth and stuff like that, which steroids do, I don't know. I feel like I'm bordering getting into really weird territory.
No, they change your body chemistry. I mean, look at Barry Bonds' head. You laugh, but it's true.
No, I know.
He went from like 1 hat size to like 5 hat sizes bigger with this giant melon.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't get off the gas. I mean, and for like wrestling, I think you and I both understand thoroughly. It's a body business.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm sure that, that's a calculated risk being taken. I just hate to see it. I hate to see someone who I felt was like didn't need to do that. But also I don't know the insides and outs of like their situation and whether or not it was like a thing where it was kind of like, hey, if you don't do this, like the show's never going to call. Like, they want you a certain way.
And as a wrestling fan, you just, especially of our age, like there's so many people like that we grew up watching that like met like a really quick and very too soon of an end. And steroids definitely played a big part in a lot of that. And it's just, you just don't want to see people go down that route.
That's why I always get real frustrated when I hear shitbags who were either behind the scenes in wrestling or who now have podcasts about wrestling, who used to be in the business and, maybe had one contribution that they'll ever be remembered for that they stole from Japan. Eric Bischoff, you piece of shit. Talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I don't know. And then like, it's the same thing when I'll see old wrestlers talk about it like it's nothing.
Oh, that was super frustrating when Billy Graham was going on about it about I can't remember who. He was like, he just needs to like juice up or something. It's just like, what? What? Look at your body. Look what happened to you, buddy.
But to them, like especially those two generations, they talk all the time about how like it's, you know, no one came to see the midgets, and they're talking about the vanilla midgets. They're talking about you know, the Eddie Guerreros and those people who they did come to see because Eddie. They were so good.
Yeah, and then he went to WWE and just jacked his body up, and
they all do. I mean, there is a I was watching some shoot stuff with Barry Windham.
Oh yeah,
and he was talking about how, you know, he was never going to really do that stuff because he was like, I don't have that kind of body. Like,
yeah,
and I'm afraid it would. He's like, the thing that brings me to dance is I can wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a very good performer. You know, I can do anything with anyone. He's like, and they tried to push that on me. I was kind of like, yeah, this ain't for me. He's like, so I did go back to, you know, WCW, before, you know, because that's like one of the reasons he said he left the first time, because he and Mike Rotunda were just about to give this massive push.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I mean, that's cool and everything, but I was just like, I kind of see the writing on the wall of what I'm going to have to do. And I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
And then he was talking about when they became the Black Hearts or the Black Hearts or whatever. And he said that he had been off for like 6 months with an injury. And they brought him back to TV and they put him in a dark match with a guy. And they were supposed to go 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would get the signal to go home. And he said, we were in the ring for 23 minutes. And he's like, whoa, I'm blowing up. And they wanted me to do a top rope drop kick. And he's like, you know, the ref then at that point just says, no, roll up, go home. He said, we did. And he was like, I was like, thank fucking God. I am literally dying.
Yeah.
I go to the back. Vince doesn't say a word to me. I walk to the back to the dressing room. I take my stuff off. I start to shower. And I can't remember who he said the agent was. They come running in and they're like, put your shit on. Vince wants you guys to do the match again. Which is something Vince is notorious for.
Yeah.
And he's like, so I'm like rushing around. He's like, this is when I was in the Stalker. I have to reapply makeup and all this shit. I'm blown up. He's like, I know why I'm doing this. It's because Vince is about to put me with Bradshaw. And he also just thinks I don't have it anymore. I'm coming off this injury. He thinks I just don't give a shit. All that stuff. And he's like, we went out there and luckily the match only went like 7 minutes. But it was pretty good. He's like, but I knew what that was. He's like, the same thing when I came to work one day. And they said, why is your hair not dyed? And he's like, because no one told me this was the day I was supposed to have it done.
Huh.
And they made him and Bradshaw go to a hair salon, get their hair cut. They both had long hair and they had to cut it all off. And then the salon was closing, so they had to go home and dye their hair themselves and still be back to the show. And he was like, that's wrestling. He's like, that's just how the business works. He's like, I'm fine with all that. He's like, but he's like, you look at some of those guys and it's going to ruin their lives eventually. It's going to catch up to you that your body is not supposed to be that way. It's like, I've just had too many friends who went down that road, and that was it. That was was it for him. So yeah, I found him to be really I always find Dr. Death to be very interesting to listen.
Oh yeah. I like watching his interviews too. He's
probably because a lot of people are like, you just don't fuck with Steve Williams. You don't tug on Superman's cape, talking about like just wrecking shop on dudes. So I do get a kick out of Dr. Death.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I agree, man. Steroids, they're fucking terrible.
Yeah, they're scary things. I mean, and granted, like if you're taking them under like like a doctor prescribed them, and like they're not trying to like make you into like a man mountain of beef or whatever, then yeah, go for it. But like, yeah, they're scary.
Yeah, I've known people that have taken them and been successful, I guess, with them. But I just, why would you play roulette with your body like that?
Yeah.
I mean, my body's wrecked enough. I didn't need help making it fucking terrible. I just feel so bad that, like, especially people who are young make that decision.
Yeah, that's
and then don't realize that decision's forever, dog. That's not for you, baby. That's for other people. So yeah, sad stuff. I feel like I'm not getting anything accomplished, but I'm looking for feats for this boy.
Okay.
He's looking good. He's looking swole. He's looking chonky swole. So you know that Rain Man don't take no roids.
He's looking like, what's his face? The greatest wrestler of all time. Otis.
Kenta Kobashi?
Otis.
That's why would you say that? Are you trying to move up to the 8 o'clock show? You do know that story, right?
Yes.
I was ready to throw hands when you did that. I think that was on a goddamn
for real
wrestling podcast when he said that.
Oh man!
And if I remember correctly, I think I literally looked at him, and was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" So I just think that Otis will be a Hall of Famer someday, and he's great. And I said,
"Yeah, I mean,
what are
Vince
you?
McMahon's driver became a Hall of Famer."
Yeah, what are you fucking talking about? Like, he's a serviceable comedy wrestler.
I'm glad that it looks like Chad Gable's finally getting rid of him.
Did you ever see him when he was here?
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Yes.
Yeah, it's so funny, like, to have seen him wrestle at the fucking not the VFW, the where MIW was. I can't even.
Yeah.
But to them to know, like he wasn't there very long, and they immediately, took him. So
yeah, he got pretty quick.
I don't think he barely talked even when he was here. I think he was just like Pete's muscle.
Yeah, no, I just remember him as just no talking whatsoever.
Yeah, he was Pete's muscle. But again, if you've got Pete, you don't really need anyone else to talk. Man, I fucking miss Pete real bad sometimes.
Yeah.
He got to be like someone I looked forward to, like, talking with and hanging out with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I wish I would have known him more though when he was actually wrestling before he couldn't wrestle anymore, because I think he would have been like real fucking wild. But that dude was a hell of a guy.
Yeah, it's a real shame. He is always a welcome presence.
Yeah. I mean, he went out of his way to be a welcome presence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like Chris was a little harder for him to warm up to most of us, but I think I still message with Chris every once in a while. And I know before Pete died, James and he or probably emailed like at least or messaged at least once a week. They were way closer than he and I was, but James would always point out, he's like, "That's true, but these people have been in your house. Some of them have used your dryer after they spilled tequila all over themselves. These people have seen your Legos."
Ooh.
Back in the day, before I got rid of all of them, one time Pete was here and he was just hammered, and he was calling an Uber. First, he was calling a girl to see if she would come pick him up. Then he was calling an Uber, and he was upstairs without us, and we were down here. And I was like, "Pete, really, we should not allow him to drive." And he's like, "No, he will not be driving out of here." And Cassandra came down after he left, and he was like, I was like, man, Pete was there a long time. Was everything okay? She's like, yeah, it took him like 2 minutes to find a ride, but then we sat around and he looked at Legos for like 25 minutes. And I had to express to him, like, some of these are not Ben's, some of these are mine. So yeah, it was really good. Just a great dude. Ugh.
Yeah.
Way too young.
And it's just like, murder grandpa. Oh,
This sucks. Why can't I find that?
what it feats?
Well, I'm looking for a particular set of feet, and I can't find it. And it's horribly vexing. It's terribly
Ooh, love that word.
I do too.
Ooh.
I'm not paying it all to the attention to the chat. I'm probably missing a lot of cool stuff.
Shaggy's mentioned how Kevin Nash is a real cool dude.
I have complex feelings about Kevin Nash. And they don't get better as time goes along as much as he talks on the internet.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, oh, Kevin. Maybe you
I think that about a lot of people, though. I'm like, oh, someone should say, please stop talking on the internet. Especially a lot of retired wrestlers who now decided to make money on podcasts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm like, whew. Oof. Get that payday for your tell-all shoot, but like, don't do a podcast. You just sound more and more like old man yell at cloud.
Hey, did you see that Ric Flair got in a fight?
I did see that. I wonder what Richard was up to. I heard there's now video out of him being in this place hammered.
There's
and him trying to say I wasn't hammered.
There's some account that's supposed to be like, it's like the sister restaurant to this place, and they're like, we heard he was there, and this actually happened. What he did is he wooed in a pregnant woman's face. That's like, it wooed. It had a blind grandma. It was, I don't know, it was kind of funny, but yeah, that dude's, I don't know, man. That's a guy I wish I never heard like speak out loud or even stories about him.
I was watching Dusty Rhodes shoot thing the other day.
Oh, nice.
And Duff did with talking about Ramblin' Ricky Road, which is, that's what Flair wanted his name to be. He wanted to be
That's right. Yeah.
He wanted to be like, I'm your
little baby Dusty.
I'm a little baby Dusty when he was 300 pounds coming out of college. And Dusty was like, no, you need to be your own man. You stay on your own 2 feet. But he also said, I have a love-hate relationship with Rick. Between the ropes, Rick is as good or maybe better than anyone else.
Uh-huh.
It's outside the ring that Rick gets himself into trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And he just can't seem to stay out of it. He's like, and a lot of it, he's like, people will never know about, which is good. But
I think you're right, Shaggy. Yeah, I think Rick's handlers definitely push him, and he just kind of drunkenly stumbles
to the next one.
Yeah.
There you are, you fat son of a bitch.
What?
Oh, did these boots not come off? These boots are
They're made for walking.
They're not, though, and this is frustrating. These boots are not made for walking.
Why won't these boots walk?
Why won't they walk?
Ooh, yeah. That would be a cool thing in a D&D game. Boots that won't walk, and then the player's stuck in them.
Or if they were like boots, what's that thing that's like a rod? It's like the immovable rod.
Oh yeah,
If they were
yeah.
boots that did the same thing, so like you could put the boots on as you're falling and you'll just stop.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I was I saw someone, or no, I didn't see them. I was listening to Dungeon Friends.
Yeah.
Have you listened to Dungeon Friends? It's an Australian D&D podcast, and Tom Cardy's on it. In fact, currently Tom Cardy is one of the DMs. There's 2 DMs, and it's as ridiculous as you would imagine it would be with Tom Cardy. By the way, if you don't know who Tom Cardy is, go to YouTube and listen to his songs, and you will be a fan immediately. I would highly recommend Perception Check being one of the first ones, Red Flags being a second one, and what's the one about Pluto? Hot Shit, HS. It's a song literally about Pluto being hot shit. It's great. It is one of the most like positive inspiration songs of all time. But anyway, they had an item that they made in their game that they gave to the PCs. God, I have to go back and listen to it again because I was like, I am totally stealing this.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was both funny and practical in a weird way. I was like, oh, this needs to be stolen. Like, this is screaming for at least the idea being stolen.
Screaming for vengeance.
Yeah.
Now there's a grandpa I can get behind.
He's one of the best of us.
Yeah. Get all to Robbie.
Papa Rob.
Then Zombie pops his head up out of a ditch. Someone say my name. No, Rob. Go back.
No, Robert. No one was talking about
you.
You.
Robert. No one
was talking about you, Robert.
No one said anything, Robert.
Sherry will tell you it's time to come out of your hole.
Hey, you guys know I love my wife. Yes, Robert. We all
Did
know.
you know I dig through the ditches and
Birth of the Witches?
Yep, that's me. Robert
That's me.
S. Zombie Esquire.
Robert Zombie Esquire.
Why couldn't you be more like your brother, Spider-1? God.
He's out there saving the galaxy.
Yeah, he knew when to get out the game.
Yeah, he did.
Part of being successful, Rob's knowing when to quit.
I'll never quit.
You're not, Robert, no matter what anyone has told you, and especially not fucking God, all of a sudden the name ran away from me. Otherwise, this would have been really funny. Too legit to quit, guy. You are indeed no
MC
longer
Hammer.
legit, and you should be quitting. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name anymore. It was right there. Yeah, it was right there. Then it wasn't.
Too legit.
Then it torrent.
Weren't there. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Surprise.
It's me, Beta Ray Bill.
Oh,
Hey, everybody.
Beta Ray Bill, Beta Ray Hillbilly. He's a guy who needs like a catchphrase from like an 80s sitcom.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Like whenever he comes on, kind of like Norm from Cheers type of thing. Or I'm sure someone had that on like the Beverly Hillbillies or on what was the not Petticoat Junction, Green Acres.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Green Acres is the place to be.
Green Acres
is the place for me.
Used to watch that so much as a kid on reruns.
Yeah, it was always on. Like
always on.
It was like Nick at Night. Always had
that and like Leave It to Beaver and Bewitched and all that.
Did you ever do deep cuts of those types of things like Dobie Gillis and things like that? Where
yeah.
Finish watching it and you're like, I'm officially an old person.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 12 years old, but I'm officially old.
For sure. No, yeah, man. Like, my mom and I went through like a summer. I had to have been like 10, where we just went to the library and like rented like old like Rebecca and Laura, like all these like noir romance like
That's fucking cool, man.
It was really fun.
Yeah, I don't have like that like relationship with either one of my parents, so that's super cool. Like,
Yeah,
like don't get me wrong. My dad and my mom, or my dad especially, was super cool. We did other dumb shit together, but like I don't think my parents ever took me to the library.
Oh,
It was like 2 blocks away, and I would just be like, going to the library.
Library was my jam, you know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I've said this before on here. My dad got me a copy of the Spider-Man record, the adventure record, from the library. They were getting rid of it.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
I mean, this was like probably 15 years ago. He gave it to me for Christmas one year.
Wow.
Because the library told him when he came in and bought it, they're like, your son wore one of these out. And I did. I listened to that thing so much. Yeah. Like I would listen to it at the library. That one and the Fantastic Four one and the Captain America one.
It's crazy.
So he bought it for me, and I have it in a frame. It's like one of the coolest gifts I've ever gotten.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
It's right up there with the Hawkman symbol stained glass. Carl made me for me one year.
Whoa.
He was learning how to do stained glass with Doug's wife Randy, and he decided his project would be to make something for Christmas for me, and he did. And it's very cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah, it's the Hawkman symbol in stained glass. Well, these boots work, but those aren't the boots I want. I think I'm going to have to drill a pair of boots out to make that work. That's so weird. That's so Raven.
That is so Raven.
All that hunting and pecking for nothing. What in the blazes is going on over there?
Oh, I see I did. I put it on the wrong thing.
Shazam!
Tarnation.
Good gravy.
I'm gonna catch that phantom. And he won't be a menace.
Okay. That should teach all of you a lesson. Be organized. I am fake organized. I am faux organized.
Organized.
Organized. Hey, you know that guy over there? He's completely organized.
Don't talk to him.
Yeah. You'll learn the dark ways.
Stay away.
Have you ever heard of organization?
Hey, let me tell you about distrucity and organization. Yeah. I know why I'm talking like macho man. This dragon's looking cute. This dragon.
Oh, hell yeah. That does look great. What's that from? What's that?
This is it's the Year of the Dragon 2024. I think it's gift with purchase. It's a gift with purchase off Lego Online or at the Lego store.
Very cool.
Tony got it with something, and I've had it for a while now. So,
hey, question.
What?
How's Tarm?
Tarm is good. She's been utilizing all of her muscles, and she's been pumping like there's no tomorrow.
Just get
speak of the devil. How's it going, Tarms?
Tarm.
Your name is being chanted.
We are big Tarm stands in this show.
Okay.
For life. So this is where we're at with this guy. These new boots. He looks like a damn tank. And I love that helmet. It looks like he has sunglasses on.
You know what? If you took the legs off and figured out a way to make his lower body like Cannonball from X-Men.
Oh, that also would be neat.
That would be amazing. Ram Man just cannonballing in the shit.
Have you watched the little stop motion thing they did for the Turtles of Grayskull?
No.
It's a lot of Beast Ram Man running into walls trying to hit people. It's pretty great.
Yes.
So I have been working on some stuff away from the stream, and I kind of want to show this.
Yeah. Do it up. Oh, whoa! Oh, that looks terrifying.
So I think I'm gonna paint the armor. I repainted the head to make it not
Dude,
look
it looks like
it's a Kuma.
I know. But
It's
he's
not the
giving me.
Kuma.
It's not the Kuma.
I'm
He
gonna
looks like
probably make a tabard. I got material finally, and Cassandra and I are gonna sit down and make templates so I can try my hand at the sew.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
I love it. It
yeah.
looks like legitimately disturbing. It looks kind of like the Zuni doll from it really does. It does though. Like
That's not exactly what I was going for, but I'll take it.
seriously. It's in the eyes. It's just like that snarl.
Yeah,
and the
it
red
does
eyes.
have the eyes are
It really,
definitely.
I don't know. That's what it evoked in me, and I was just like, get it
The
away.
other thing
Don't tell Karen Black.
that, that I'm very proud of actually
Yeah.
is this.
Ooh.
So this was the belt piece for Cole Obsidian. Who
Okay.
is
Yeah.
staff for Marvel Legends, and he's absolutely huge. And I wanted to use the waist piece, but it was just so big. It's way too big even for Andre.
Okay.
So Matt was like, well, you're gonna have to cut it and make it smaller and all that jazz. And I was like, I'm really nervous about doing that.
Yeah.
Because I've done the couple times I've done it hasn't really gone great.
Uh-huh.
So what I did is I drilled out spots and then pinned it together and then glued it. And it has surprisingly some real tensile strength to it, which I really like. So now I like it so much I'm actually going to paint it.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, when it's on a body, if I can find a body. I mean, how can you not find a body? You've got all these bodies on your desk.
The real body guy.
You're a really body guy. Oh, now you're going to be this way because now we're on TV.
Ooh.
Now you're going to act this way because we're on television. Here's what it looks like.
Oh yeah. I like that.
I really like it as well. It holds together really well. The plastic still got its elasticity. The pinning worked very, very well, which I'm always very nervous whenever I do any pinning.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Congratulations. It looks good.
It looking pretty good. It looking pretty good.
It looking nice.
It looking nice. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks I'll find some motivation to get moving on stuff again. I've been really dragging ass.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's just I don't know. It's really easy to get frustrated with a certain craft project and then just lose that momentum on it.
I just lose momentum sometimes altogether.
Yeah, no, totally.
I'm just in one of those cycles right now. Just to show you. Look, okay, so here's Footless Ram Man, right?
Yeah.
Here's regular size figure. He's just beef, all beef.
Oh wow, yeah.
So that's great, right?
Yeah.
Here is Slaker.
Whoa. Wow.
He's on the Andre buck. He's massive.
That's insane.
He's on the same buck as.
Is he like the biggest? Are there any of the other MotU TMT guys? Okay, so just
because of this waist insert for Krang, his little Krang cage.
Yeah.
Krang is technically Krang inside of. God, I can't remember the dead giant's name in MotU.
Yeah.
That he sits inside of. That Krang now sits inside of. And I forgot to get out my little Krang and put him in there, but that'll be a battle. I forgot to put my little Krang. That'll be Probably be a battle for another day.
Can I say one thing? And I don't think it'll be very controversial, but in the Michael Bay Ninja Turtle remake, it was a really awful idea to make Brad Garrett the voice of Krang.
That is a weird choice.
Yeah, like I don't know. Everyone has like that kind of thing, like emblazoned in our minds. I feel like, and then to have
Deborah, Deborah,
Raymond.
Colin, you have such a versatile voice. It's crazy.
I try.
No, you just do. You.
Oh, damn, dude. Thank you.
This is beef, meat. This is beef, meat. I wish I had the patience and the equipment to do stop motion because I'd love to do some stop motion.
Yeah.
I know Matt's done it before, and I'm always like, hey, Matt, you want to teach me the ways?
Yeah.
Teach me your dark secrets.
Teach me your magics.
But who has the time and patience?
Yeah, my patience is real thin these days.
Me too.
Especially for cool stuff, which is a shame.
Hey, are you interested in fanging on Friday?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the day. I have done a bunch of off-stream resource gathering, and I built a second castle up into the next region, so we can teleport to and from. I don't think you were around. We had to restart the whole game.
No.
During the update, with the update, made us restart everything.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So Doug and I and Richard started it, and then we've tried to avoid killing any V-Bloods that we hadn't killed in our earlier playthrough, although we have cheated and killed 2. Technically, we killed 1 together, and then I went and killed the bear today. Because I was like, but I need this thing. And it wasn't the thing I thought it was going to be. So now I'm like, maybe I have to go kill this other guy, but I'm trying to be patient. Yeah, so we got our castle up and going. And then this secondary castle, which is like 5 stories tall, is over in this other area.
Oh, I love this.
That's great, man. Is that a little cloud?
Little cloud that, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Here, I can't say.
That's incredible. That's absolutely fascinating.
I just want a little Goku just riding on this little guy.
Oh, God, that'd be super, super cool. So, yeah, I hope you'll be able to play. Nate might play too.
Okay.
We'll see. I think Richard's on a business trip this week, so we'll have some Fangangers out there, and we'll be doing our dark business, our grim work. Have you watched Brothers Gate 3 stuff yet?
No, not at all.
Please watch it. It's really funny.
I'll have to. I still need to beat that game.
There's only 1 episode out so far. It's only about 20 minutes long. But they literally kill every NPC they come across. And their names are fucking awesome. And they have to they make Clint remake his character because they're like, well, did nobody pick this type of character? No, I'm this type of character. Well, Clint, you have to remake your guy. Why do I have to remake my guy? Like, because you have to remake your guy. Miro, I'm a Miro fan.
He seems like a good dude.
Yeah. I feel bad that his marriage didn't work out, but that's his life. Colin, where can these fine people see you doing your dark bidding?
Tuesdays like this, you can find me doing this kind of stuff. On alternate weeks, it'll be Thursdays. You'll catch me doing some spoopy work with some spoopy boys. I'm taking it there. Sunday, you can find me doing prep school. If my kids aren't assaulting me, mostly my daughter. Yeah. And Scum and Villainy, when we do Scum and Villainy, banging and banging on that. And rumor has it that there might be some Fortnite in the future.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying that.
If you guys give me enough notice, I might.
I think it'd be very fun.
There is a better than 35% chance I will.
Ooh.
I know. It's a lot.
We could even just do the Lego portion where we're just creating
I
villains.
desperately want to play that. It wasn't supposed to be this Friday because I moved last week's to this Friday because last week I was not feeling it. I will be here Friday. I don't have anything the next 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
Friday for Fang Gang. And then Sunday for prep school, Monday for Chaos Scar. And then we talked about it. I don't remember if we talked about it on stream or off stream. Next Thursday, we'll be pushing back the Bay and our Bay and Strange Land or Savage Land discussion to the following because we want to spend our next Thursday. We're going to watch along at the same time as actually just talk. As we'll be picking a Roger Corman flick off of Tubi and talking about the great man.
Yeah. Wish him a fond farewell.
Yeah. I know he meant a great deal to me as someone who made things that I still consume, but consumed like when we were talking about doing stuff with our parents. I can remember watching plenty of Roger Corman movies.
Yeah. And there's so many Roger Corman things that were a staple of my childhood, and also just the impact he had on directors that became very essential to me.
Actors too.
Yeah, like the guy is like legit titan and legend when you think of all he contributed and how he did it. You know, maybe not the most above board, I guess, but he showed people how to stretch a dollar.
He was a guerrilla filmmaker who couldn't work within the system, so started his own system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was the Dark Shadows guy whose channel I watch said that he could hardly believe that Roger Corman died, even though he was 96, because he was still working.
Yeah,
Corman had also always said, "I will work until they put me in the ground," and he did.
Yeah, good on him.
Also, an iconic voice.
Oh yeah,
silky smooth.
I don't know who did it better, him or George Takei, but it might be Corman, maybe.
Cassandra and I were debating if Vincent Price or Corman had a better voice, and in the end we both came to Vincent Price, but it's not as much of a blow it out your ass, Howard. Something my dad used to always say, "Blow it out your ass, Howard." I was like, who is Howard and why is he blowing it out his ass?
Maybe give it to Vincent just because he's got a little more of
there's
melody.
A melody, a lilt, but there's also like his ability to like do. I always think of Corman as being very like.
He's got newscaster voice.
He does. That's perfect. He does.
Yeah.
There's no like excitement or emotion in his voice. It's just like analytic almost.
Yeah. Well, my good man, let me tell you how to spend the dollar. And then,
whereas, Vincent, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
He can be sultry. He could be scary. He could be terrified. He could be funny. He could do everything. It was like a real shame.
Price is amazing.
Yeah, it was a real shame that it was like one of those things where he was really well thought of in certain corners of filmdom. And I think that after he died, like most people, they were like, oh, we should have appreciated this more.
Yeah, now made him such a caricature towards his final days. And made him aware of it too. That's not cool.
Well, it's the same thing with like, I was watching someone talk about Christopher Lee like that.
Yeah.
They're saying like Christopher Lee really, really hated that he got typecast. And until he got old, until he did Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, okay, I got to do like everything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So
he's a crazy dude.
Yeah, he's wild.
Yeah.
He is one of the most interesting guys. Like,
I love that he gets into like metal when he's like 80.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Well, he's like fucking 75 cutting metal albums.
Yeah.
He's, it's like, hey, who's been Dracula, Saruman, and fucking Count Dooku?
And like killed a ton of Nazis.
Yeah, killed a bunch of Nazis. Yeah, just an amazing dude.
Yeah.
All right, man. I love you, Colin.
Love you too, dude.
And I like 50% of the people in the chat. Just kidding. Colin, do you listen to Behind the Bastards? Statistically, I like 30% of you.
Yeah.
Now, Spike, Shaggy, y'all keep things afloat. You're always here without being on screen, and I appreciate you both far more than I could ever express. So
definitely.
Have a good rest of your week. We'll see you on Friday because we're going to commit heinous acts. I can't wait to eat all kinds of people. We all float down here. Yes, we do. We all bomb us down here. Bomb us for life.
I gotta get in on this Bombus thing.
If there's nothing to get on, Bombus is alive.